Hi everybody, I'm Trish Christ. In this episode of Our Nashville, NECAT and our super crew of teenagers spend some time with Thistle Farms. CEO Hal Cato and his team are going to show and tell us all the cool things they do in our community. You ready, Hal?
Yes.
You ready, super crew?
Yeah.
Let's make the show. It's Our Nashville.
It's our Nashville. It's our Nashville.
It's our Nashville.
We all know how to talk about our organization during meetings, but what about the chance encounter of a lifetime? You never know who may share your next elevator, notice your logo on a notebook or a tote bag, and ask what you do. What's the clearest, most persuasive thing you can say in a short elevator ride?
Thistle Farms helps women survivors recover and heal from trafficking, prostitution, and addiction. We do it by giving them a safe place to live, a meaningful job, and this lifelong sisterhood of support. You know, we also do it because we think every woman deserves a second chance. For some women, it's their first chance.
When I think of the name of the organization, each word in the name Thistle Farms is of equal importance. If you would please explain to us sort of what we mean by thistle and what we mean by farming in this context.
I love that question. So the thistle, and it's funny how many people show up looking like, where's your farm? And they'll come in farming clothes.
Is this made with thistle? Right.
Yeah. So the thistle actually is the toughest flower in the world. And for women who are trapped in this web of trafficking and addiction and life on the streets, most of the time it's the only thing they see blooming. It'll burst up through concrete, it'll grow up a chain link fence. You can't kill a thistle, and a lot of people consider it this weed or a noxious weed, really go there. But it has some amazing healing properties that most people don't know about. So when Becca Stevens was starting the organization, it was just sort of this natural thing to gravitate around. And farms created a sense of place. And for people to come together, even though they were working out of a church basement at the time, Thistle Farms created this sense of feeling in a community, in a place.
Nurturing,
cultivation. And they would go out on the sides of highways and pick thistles.
Wow.
To use the downy part of the thistle into some of the products.
I didn't realize it was actually used in the products. I thought it was a metaphor.
No, a couple of the products it still is, but they started laughing like, look, we're Thistle Farmers, and the name just stuck.
I love it. Let's talk about how it all got started. You mentioned Becca. Tell us what time frame are we talking about and some of the growth that's happened.
Yeah, so
then.
22 years ago, Becca Stevens is a very young mother and fairly newly ordained Episcopal priest who had done enough work and going into halfway houses and soup kitchens and looked around and was like, where are the women? They're all men. Where do the women go? And what's happening to them? And realized that there really weren't enough dedicated resources for women who were on the street. And the ones that were there weren't working. There were these halfway house models where you come in, here are all the rules, here's how much rent you're gonna have to pay, yada, 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 which when you're living minute by minute, the thought of having to come in and immediately pay rent and everything else is just daunting. And usually there's only one place you're gonna get that money, is to go back out where you came from. And so she just thought, let's just break the mold and create something that, gives women the time and the space they need to heal. In this case, 2 years ended up being the time at no cost. That's nice and luxurious and warm and just takes care of everything that they need.
Wow. For the sake of folks who may not have heard of Thistle Farms, or Magdalene House, which I believe you're referencing there before. Let's spell it out for them. What is the purpose of this organization? What are we doing?
So what we're doing is we are helping women survivors heal and recover who have struggled with trafficking and prostitution and addiction and abuse. and life on the streets. And we do it, there's basically 3 parts of the Thistle Farms formula. Number 1 is that safe and supportive place to live for 2 years at no cost, that everything is provided for.
Wow.
The second is a meaningful job. Because unless, we've learned, unless you can help a woman heal financially as well, she's always going to be vulnerable to people who see her as a commodity to be bought and sold. And so that meaningful employment is really kind of, and we can talk about that in a moment, what we've become most known for. And then the third piece is this lifelong sisterhood of support, that it doesn't end, at the end of that 2-year mark. I mean, I've got an employee who graduated in 1999 who's around. We had a graduate party over the holidays, and we had graduates come back from year 1 who are still a part of the group. So that's what makes it work. Undergirding all of that, I think the most important thing is just our basic philosophy that love heals. And love really is the most powerful force for change in the world. And we love these women until they can love themselves, and then they start loving the community, and it's just beautiful.
Tell us about, you say graduation, and you told us about a home where we get to live. That's part of the system. Let's go deeper into what those things are.
Yeah. So I'll start with the homes. I mean, we have 5 here in the Nashville community where women can literally, most of them show up, with nothing but the clothes on their back, and that's it. So we are meeting them right there. Is
this following incarceration?
Well, they may be coming out of prison or jail. They may be coming out of treatment. We're not a treatment facility per se, so that if they are still actively using, we have to work with a treatment program to kind of get them clean and sober and ready to move into a community that's safe for all the other women there. Sure. And so they come into Magdalene, which is the name of our residential program. For the first 5 or 6 months, we don't want them to do anything other than just be still. It's amazing how much they sleep at first because they're exhausted. Be still. We'll match you up with a therapist. We'll get you the medical care you need, get you some clothes, some food, the support groups that they're a part of. Start doing a little bit of job training, not much, but just so that they're ready for it. And then after 5 or 6 months, most of them are ready to start making some money. We also give them a stipend. And that always freaks them out because they're like, you're giving me money to stay. Where's the hook? Where's the hook? Where's the hook?
Because there's always been a hook.
There's always been a hook. There's been a condition since they were little girls. And there is no condition. You just do the work, And then after that 5 or 6 month mark, when they're feeling, a little more stable, they can come and work in one of our social enterprises. Here in Nashville, we've got our manufacturing where they make the bath and body products that we sell all over the country, or our cafe, or our global team. They'll work for 20 hours a week. We'll cap it at that because the other time they go to the doctor, go to your counselor, do the group. The most important thing is your recovery. And then that'll go on, and then after 2 years, they graduate, they complete the program. By that point, our goal is that they're at a living wage, that they have a little bit of savings because we match with their dollar for dollar what they save while they're in the program.
Nice.
So they're paid to work in our enterprises, but they have no living cost. So it allows them to start a little bit of a nest egg. And then, some of the women love working at Thistle Farms and they'll work there, 10, 15 years, and then others like, no, that's not me. And we'll help them go find another place that'll be supportive.
My name is Shamika Simpson, and I am a part of the logistics team here at Thistle Farms. So we're the ones that does all the packing and gets everything ready to go out on events and to stores and so on and so forth. It's like a breath of fresh air for me because I'm in the recovery community and I'm a part of the Magdalene program. So it's like, when we're in the house having our groups amongst other sisters and all that, of course we're in the recovery community there and we're safe and we know that nothing, we don't have to worry about temptation, but then it's awesome when you get to come to work and have the same atmosphere, but also it's very fun. People are open-minded, and it's just like a family here. just one big family. And this whole corner, we walk from here to here all day long, and it's just everything has to do with Thistle Farms, and it's grown to get to this level because, when it started off, it was in a little room. And now look, we have a whole logistics menu, When I first was introduced to the program, I was very leery. I was like, who wants to go spend 2 years in a program doing getting better stuff is kind of what how I put it. But like once you go there and you realize that sincerely, it's not really about, because I've been to other facilities to try to get better, and it's like, okay, it's recovery based. You do this, and this is how you do this, and you take this many classes per day. You wake up in the morning, you do this again. But this was, Magdalene it didn't have that feeling. It was a home. Just learn how to love yourself unconditionally. That's what they want us to do. And while you're at it, we're gonna give you a job and try to get you some skills that will help you when there is a time when you transition out into the world. You're gonna have some skills. And if you want to work here and you decide that this is a career I'm going to take, that's an option as well. It's a win-win.
Let's talk about some of the jobs in the different facilities.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking about? We're talking about hands-on things?
Yeah, well, the bulk of the jobs that we have are manufacturing. I mean, we make a full line. We have 30 bath, body, and home products ranging from candles to a body scrub, and everything in between, that we hand pour and hand make in our facility here in Nashville. Some of them work in our shipping department. We've got our own little, baby Amazon facility where we're, taking online orders, because about half our sales come through e-com and the internet. So they'll fulfill and package, ship it out. Some women choose to work in our cafe. We've got a beautiful cafe that, I just love going in there.
My name is Tammy Schill, and I am the floor manager here at the cafe at Thistle Farms. I actually had a friend that was coming to work here, and on the day that she was coming to visit, the day before she was working here, I came with her and put in an application, and when I walked in the door, it was like the atmosphere was just so wonderful. It was like almost like angels singing. Like I loved it so much. I was like, I just want to work here. And I filled out the application, and even though it was like months later before I finally got a call back, I was on top of it. Our mission is about empowering and employing women survivors of prostitution, addiction, and trafficking. And me being in recovery myself, that's really big for me. And the fact that I love to empower women just because of what I've been through. And what I know that others struggle with. So it's that plays a really big part in my reason of wanting to work here. That's how this all got started, was wanting to reach out and help other women and show them that there is another way to live, that you don't have to go against your values and beliefs and morals to get by in the world. There is actually another way of life.
And then others work in our global team, where we partner with about 25 enterprises around the world.
Around the world now,
Around
that's
the world
amazing.
now, yeah, that employ women survivors in their country. And we're a distribution channel for some of them. Some of them are part of our supply chain, but we give them 50 to 60% of the profits back to them. So it's a pretty good deal. Mm-hmm. And I just got back from Rwanda, where I was visiting with one of our enterprises down there that employs women survivors of the genocide, who are making oils, essential oils, that we then import, and they become part of our supply chain. So that was really awesome. We don't travel anywhere without taking at least one or two women survivors with us.
Awesome.
So Tammy, who we all adore, Tammy's one of our survivor leaders. She went with us to Rwanda.
Wow.
It was her first trip out of the country. It was a long
That's
trip.
a big start. That's
And
a
so
big starter place.
I've
My
got the
goodness.
most gorgeous video of Tammy dancing in the fields with these survivors. And there were just didn't speak the same language, but they got each other. And what was great is standing in those geranium fields in the dusty Rwandan countryside and handing them a bottle of the bug spray And when it clicked and the interpreter explained to them, this oil right there is
Wow.
in here, they lit up and they were all spraying it
Giving
all
me
over each
chills.
other, and it was just gorgeous.
That's amazing. Some folks watching may not understand the concept of a social enterprise. And I know that's part of what you all do. Can you sort of explain what that is and how it works in your specific organization?
So social enterprise, it's a buzzy, trendy word right now. And social enterprise basically is a business that can either be operated within a nonprofit or for-profit. A lot of social enterprises, especially the Toms and the Warby Parkers of the world that are well known today, mostly are for-profit. But it is a business with a purpose. And the profits generated from that are to be used to invest in social good or to do something positive for humanity. So it's about doing well and doing good at the same time, if you think about that Venn diagram intersection. There are not many social enterprises that are really, honestly, that I've looked and seen under a 501c3 nonprofit umbrella that are doing what we're doing at the scale. Right now, we're the largest social enterprise in the country, employing women survivors, And our sales have grown 64%
That's amazing.
between 2017 and 2018, which is remarkable. But it fuels about 65% of our budget, comes from earned income. So it's funding our mission, and it is part of our mission because helping women heal financially is what we do.
And what a nice, almost, I say commercial way, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but what a nice commercial way to spread the word about what Thistle Farms does on the nonprofit sector.
It is. It's a powerful way, and there are millions and millions of people out there that are looking for socially responsible products and want to spend their money and feel good about it. And so our job is to connect with those shoppers and to help them understand that buying this hand soap, we always say, you purchase, we employ, survivors heal. That's the magic formula.
I know that you have grown locally, just exponentially in the last decade or so. You've spread beyond Tennessee.
We have. What happened is the word got out about Thistle Farms, and as Becca traveled around the country speaking and, features on Today's Show and things like that, the phone started ringing and visitors started coming. And every other month we host a room full of people who come from across the country who want to learn what we're doing and take it back to their community. And right now we have 50 cities around the country who are in some various stage of replicating our Magdalene model. We have 22 homes that are open now. They're all in their independent 501, but we provide everything that they need to get started. The playbook, here's all our policies. We'll help you raise money. What can we do to help you create a home?
My name is Sheila Simpkins, and I am a 2007 graduate. I am the Director of Education and Outreach. And so my job responsibility is to build our national network. People from all over the country come just to learn about our model, learn about the social enterprise, hear Becca speak. They get to sit with the residential team and pick our brains, and we share. And then when they go home, we offer them the opportunity to join our network where we, I guess, in a sense, we share everything about our organization. We share our documents, we share our bylaws, we share our policies. We're just here to support them while they are building the community in their state. We traveled all over the country, going to churches and sharing our story. We took our Find Your Way Home book. It's a morning meditation that we do. We've taken it into the prisons. We take it to the churches. We just keep on building from that and building and building. I'm working on getting my master's in social work with a concentration in organizational leadership. One of these days I really want to work with adolescents. I want to be able to do prevention or early intervention. I don't want them to have to be in their 30s before they get help. For me, it saved my life. It taught me the skills to be the best person that I can be. It taught me how to be a mother. It taught me how to be a wife. It taught me how to be a good student. It taught me how to be a good employee. It helped me dream. It helped me dream. It helped me believe in myself so that I could be anything that I want to be. I think it's the best program in the country.
My name is Doris Walker Taylor. I am the Director of Events here at Thistle Farms. I'm a survivor. I came into this community in 2009, and that was after being in my addiction for over 26 years and on the streets for over 20 years, and I thought I was going to die out there. But I came to the residential program in 2009. I came to work here in 2010. So now I'm the Director of Events, so I get to pay it forward for the people that helped me so much. So I am able to send the survivors out to sell products. We tell our stories. We go to conferences. We might go into churches. We might travel outside of the state or in state. So I play a part in that, and I love it. I was trapped in a 10-block radius over 26 years, and I could not find my way out. But since I've came to this organization, I travel all around the United States. I don't think there's a state that I hadn't been to. So I go a lot of the dioceses, but the heart, what really makes my day is to be able to go into the sister organizations. There's not a place on this earth that does not need a sanctuary like Magdalene. We call them our sister organizations. Just like the girls that work here with me are my sisters for life. So we say love is the most powerful force for change. It hits home for me because when I walked through the doors, I expected them to say, so what have you been doing? But they didn't. They asked a very profound question, what happened to you? So I realized from the very beginning that if something happened to us in our lives and we don't deal with it, it'll deal with us. So they loved me back to life. They loved me until I was able to love myself. So love truly does heal. We have these beautiful t-shirts, all this apparel that says love heals, and it does. It absolutely does.
What's beautiful about that network now is it's become a resource for our wait list.
Oh,
so at least,
if you can travel
at
to...
least once or twice a month, we will help a woman get to another community.
Oh my goodness.
Where if we can't take care of her, and sometimes that's the best thing that can happen,
get out of your
to get out of
normal
your
bubble.
zip code, where all the triggers are and the family members who don't want to see you succeed, and send them to another community. And we've had women in St. Louis, Omaha, Atlanta, New Orleans, who are doing great.
So what are some ways folks can get involved and support your endeavors?
Probably, I think the most meaningful way is to come and visit us. We are open 6 days a week. Come visit, come to our cafe, come have a meal, a cup of coffee, tea, breakfast, meet a friend, and just be a part of it. And meet the women who work there, and it's a beautiful environment. While you're there, you can explore our shop and see the products that we make. All of those products are made there on site by the survivors, and then that's some that we import from around the country. And everything that people purchase there goes back into helping us employ more survivors. And just visiting our website and checking it out, we have a number of ways to get involved.
Hal, we got one more segment for you.
Okay.
And it is my favorite part, favorite part of the whole episode.
All right.
It's the speed round.
Uh-oh, okay.
Like the game we used to play when we were kids, where I ask you something, and the first thing that comes to your mind, please just let it fly, and we'll go on to the next one.
All right.
Fair enough? All right. Okay. Speed round with Hal Cato.
All right, let's go.
What does it mean to be a thistle farmer?
To be a thistle farmer means you are unafraid to go where other people are afraid to go.
Wow. Name 3 reasons a woman might find herself needing the opportunities of Magdalene and Thistle Farms.
Number 1, she is bottomed out. She's ready for change. That's what it takes first, is that you're ready for something different. Number 2 is they may be coming out of prison with nowhere to go or very few options. The third reason might be that they have been in Thistle Farms at one point, they left, and they want to come back.
Nice. Name 3 great things that happen for a woman through Thistle Farms.
Recovery, number 1, recovery. Number two is financially healing and being able to support yourself. And number three is the reuniting with your family and getting your kids back.
Who doesn't want all of those
Who
things?
doesn't want those three things
Absolutely.
for anybody?
Absolutely. My friend, you are as socially aware and as civically active as anyone I can name, and that is the truth. That said, what have you learned from these women at Thistle Farms?
I have learned that I thought I knew what resiliency looked like. I have learned a whole new level of resiliency. I've learned how not to take myself so seriously and to laugh. You know, if we didn't laugh, we wouldn't survive because the work can be so hard. And I have learned that that hope goes so much further than I ever imagined it would. Because a lot of that is the only thing that they have to get through to next week. And, you know, it's taught me so much about how to take myself less seriously and what really is most important in the world. And it's not what I thought was 3 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
That wasn't speed, I'm sorry.
That's beautiful. Here's a big one. What mark do you want Thistle Farms to make on the world?
We're making it right now, honestly. I think we're making it, but I want Thistle Farms can be so much bigger, I think, from an employment standpoint. And my dream one day is that we have manufacturing sites around the country and that we are employing women survivors from coast to coast. That money is all going into a National Thistle Farms Foundation.
Wow.
That makes grants to residential programs around the country that help women survivors.
You're giving me chills.
So that's
great.
my dream.
That's great.
Yeah.
Last of all, easy peasy, what's your website?
Thistlefarms.org.
Thank you, Hal.
Thank you.
It's our Nashville. Love heals.